Have you ever came back from an injury and you're starting to feel great? Every single training session, you're getting stronger and stronger, but then you start to feel a little extra stiff. So you go ahead and stretch the area, but then it seems to seize back up on you almost immediately or after a few hours. Or maybe your training feels fine, but then you have something unexpected happen, like a kid kicking and screaming while you're trying to put him in the car seat, and then you get a shooting pain go through your body, and you find yourself starting all the way back at the zero in your recovery journey. And you're stuck in this cycle, and nobody is telling you why or how to escape it. I know because I lived both versions of this cycle. I would survive every single training session because I know how to push my limits without crossing the line. But then I would be taken out by real life, whether it be my kids throwing a tantrum, trying to get something that was buried in the back of storage, picking up some groceries, or even just showering my kids while they're jumping around. Things that shouldn't hurt, things that had nothing to do with the gym. Every single time I would end back up at zero. Same symptoms, same frustration, starting over. That's the injury cycle. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the 6 stages of it so you can learn where you are right now and what keeps setting you back so you can learn to escape it. Most people think the solution is a better PT, a better exercise, more stretching. And I thought the same thing for over a decade. But the problem wasn't the exercise. It was the pattern I was trapped in and couldn't see. I was doing all the right things, but at the wrong time, and repeating the same loop that I didn't even know existed. Hi, my name is Seth, and I've been in over a dozen car accidents. I've lived with chronic pain for over a decade, and I've had nervous system issues that I've had to learn to deal with that I never even fathomed I would have to experience in my life. I'm not a doctor, but I've lived in this injury cycle for years and years, and I've had to learn how to break free from this prison that these injuries have put me through, and I have to navigate it still every single day. So let me show you the 6 stages of the injury cycle so you can break free yourself. So stage 1 is the injury. Something breaks down. It might be a disc, a tendon, a ligament, a muscle. However, then you go ahead and try to fix it. But fixing it alone is not gonna get you unstuck. What you do next will determine whether you are stuck in this cycle or not. Stage 2 is reactive treatment. If you're like everybody else, you'll probably go see a doctor after you get injured, and depending on your injury will depend on the type of doctor you see. Eventually in your recovery journey, you'll probably see a physical therapist. They may have you do some stretching. You might ice the area to bring down some inflammation. You might get a little bit extra rest when you need it. And it seems to work for a while. Your pain may go down and you're starting to feel better. But this is where it really gets dangerous. Pain going down may feel like progress, but that doesn't mean the problem is fixed. That just means the signal is getting quieter. It's a lot like an injury being related to a fire, and pain is the smoke. Just because the smoke clears, the pain goes down, doesn't mean the fire is completely put out. Actually, there might be burning coals still underneath the surface that you don't even realize are there. And this is what got me every single time. And what comes next is the stage that tricks everyone because it doesn't feel like it's a trap. It feels like you're actually getting back to where you were before. Stage 3 is the recovery illusion. This stage got me every single time. You think that you're past it because you start getting into your training and you're starting to feel great. Your numbers are starting to come back, muscle memory kicks in, your strength is going up, you keep adding weight on the bar, you're getting closer and closer to what you could before you got injured, and you think, I'm past that, don't have my injury anymore, I'm back. But here's what I didn't understand for years. My muscles came back fast, but my nervous system didn't. Muscle memory kicks in very quickly, but your nervous system takes time to build tolerance. Tolerance is the ability your body has to trust the load to move through positions without pulling the alarm. I had outpaced my own foundation and I didn't even know it because everything still felt fine. Stage 4 is the deception path. At this point, something shows up. It's not pain, it's not re-injury, but you're starting to feel a little extra stiff, like your stabilizers are clamping down. For me, it felt like my deepest stabilizers around my spine, my spinal erectors, were clamping down like I was wearing a compression suit that I couldn't take off. So I would stretch it, but then it would lock up and lock up even harder. And I thought that, oh, maybe I'm pushing myself too hard. But it wasn't the muscles, it was the nervous system pulling the emergency brake. Your nervous system is saying that you went past the range or intensity that it trusts, not what your muscles can handle, what your nervous system trusts. They are two different things. Now, here's what most people do wrong that destroys all the progress they just built, because what you do next will determine whether you lose 1 week or 6 months. Stage 5 is the snare trap. Once you start to begin getting tighter, you start to stretch it and it doesn't hold, so you end up resting it. But then you get even stiffer and maybe even pain creeps in and gets 10 times worse. And you can't understand why, because you just started resting and you were just getting really, really strong. You just maybe were a little bit tight. But what just happened is you just confirmed what your nervous system thought all along, that the movement that you were doing is dangerous. So since the alarm has been confirmed, it just locks you down harder. And for some of you, it doesn't even happen in the gym. And that's what makes this so confusing, is because your training sessions felt fine, your workouts went great with no pain, but then your kid throws a tantrum and you get a shooting pain go through your body, or you bend over and pick up some groceries and your back seizes out and you think, what is wrong with me? What is going on? Because the gym didn't break you, real life did. And that doesn't make sense, because in the gym, you have real incredible feats. But it makes complete sense when you understand this. Your nervous system was already maxed out from training. It had nothing left. So the unexpected things of life push you over the edge. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. Stage 6 is the pitfall. The flare-up hits. Then pain increases, weeks go by, maybe months, and you're standing back at the bottom of the mountain with frustration, same symptoms, and you're thinking to yourself, is my body broken? Is this where my life is now? No, your body is not broken. You're just stuck in a loop that you cannot see. But now you can see it. So let me show you how you can avoid falling into the pit of despair. The only way out is between stage 3, the recovery illusion, and stage 4, the deception path, where everything feels like it's working correctly. That's where the old version of me would blow right past, like missing your exit on a freeway and realizing miles down the road that there is no easy way back. That's where I do something completely different now. This is your golden ticket to break you free of that prison. Instead of chasing weight on the bar right out the gates, I train my nervous system first. I rebuild my tolerance by training my nervous system to trust the positions I'm entering, to handle the load before I put heavy load on it. This is controlled repetitions, leaving 5 or more repetitions in reserve, not chasing fatigue, but teaching your nervous system that it is safe to move again. And here's the amazing part. Stretching doesn't seem endless anymore. The mobility work that I do holds, and the range that I gain stays. I don't wake up stiff and feeling like concrete the next day anymore, because my nervous system trusts those positions to move into freely. But don't get me wrong, life still throws me curveballs. I still have setbacks, but although I might slide off the mountain a little bit, I take my pickaxe and I stab it in the ground. I might lose a day or a week at most if I'm sick or something happened, but I don't allow me to fall off the cliff and start all over again. Even though I still have curveballs with my nervous system, I'm able to stay on track and constantly progressing forward. But when something does happen though, I rest just enough to get my footing back and then I start moving again. And unless I'm sick as a dog and can't get out of bed, I'm still going on walks. I'm still flushing my system, and I may hop on that fan bike and start priming my movement by doing so, getting my blood flowing, helping my recovery in that way. I do not stop. I teach my nervous system that movement is still safe even though I might have a slight flare up. This prevents me from my slip turning into a fall and getting set back. I don't just stretch and hope everything settles down anymore. I know how to read tightness, I know how to interpret pain, and I know when to push and when to back off and downshift. Not from following common clinical advice, but because I have learned to understand and respect tolerance by being in the trenches and working with my nervous system instead of against it. That's the difference between getting kicked off the mountain and holding your ground. If you're stuck in this cycle, look at where you are right now. Are you in the recovery illusion thinking that you're past the injury? Or are you feeling the snare trap and you think that you need a little more stretching? Or are you doing fine in your gym training, but then you're getting taken out by everyday life? Are you months into a flare-up and wondering even if it's worth trying anymore? Wherever you are, the path out is the same. Understand your exit from the cycle. Your golden ticket that will break you free from the prison. Rebuild tolerance. Train the nervous system. Stop letting the loop repeat. If you need help determining which stage that you're in and how to actually break free of this cycle to recover properly, I built something called the Iron Body Assessment. It's a free assessment that will take a look at your training, your movement patterns, and which ones you're strong or weak in so that you can recover properly and stop backsliding. The link will be in the description. And if this helped you finally see the pattern that you were missing, hit subscribe, because we teach you not how to just recover from the injury, but also how to bulletproof your body to avoid future injuries.